I know.
I just clicked go live, so it should make it public. And we're in no rush to start talking until you've shared it with your people. We'll wait.
Okay. I am sharing it now. Let me
Okay.
say.
While Heather Lehrman is busy sharing on Facebook to her following, I want to welcome all of you people from my Facebook page to come on in and have a seat and get to know somebody I adore in New York, the amazing Heather Lehrman. And I'm going to read you her intro, which is amazing. She's even more amazing in person than the words she gave me to introduce her. Do I sound like a robot of myself? I kind of do. But I'm going to put feeling into this because I love Heather Lehrman. You will too, you guys. Here we go. Heather Lehrman, the one in the other square, is a Long Island Pet Services business owner. We got to find out about this. Let's plug it for her. She's an author. Let's find out. An actor. Gotta know this. Producer and host and comedian. I want to know everything about you, Heather Lehrman. She produced her first animated short film called Herbie and the Smushies, Bullied at the Dog Park, based on her children's book. It won Best Animated Short at the New York Long Island Film Festival, New York Long Island Film Festival. It was so amazing to see her work, she says, on the big screen. I can't imagine. That must
Oh
have
my
been,
God.
we'll get to that. Her book, Bullied at the Dog Park, is read to children in schools. OMG, I love you. Libraries and special readings for small groups, anti-bullying events, fundraisers, and Girl Scout troops, and more. Oh my gosh. Bullying is a huge problem, she says, and I want to do my part to teach young readers that it's not okay. Don't you love it? It's giving me body goosies reading this. You can purchase the book, a copy of it on Amazon.com. She says, I spent my time writing another screenplay during the stay at home pause for the last 3 months. I'm very excited to get this movie produced. It is a family feel good movie that we can all use right now. I can't wait to hear about it. I have also been in comedy writers group called Comedy Trade School since March and have done numerous Zoom shows. I can't wait to hit the stage again. I've been on shows with Heather and she rocks, you guys. You'll love her. You'll love her comedy. Get out and support it. I'm looking forward to the next chapter of my life in TV film and excited to announce that I am a new client of the Gasser Group talent agency in New York City. Congratulations. Fingers crossed, TV film production will start soon. Follow her on Facebook and on Instagram. She's on Hanging Out with Heather and Heather Lehrman. I'll put the links up later. Awesome. Welcome to the Comic Spot
That,
stage, Heather Lehrman. Woo!
that was some quite long introduction. Thank you, Linda.
You're very welcome.
And
You,
I met Linda through comedy, Zoom comedy, and she's such a
yes,
lovely woman.
thank
And
you.
I'm so happy we met
You
because
too.
you are a very special woman. And of
Thank
course,
you.
Linda is amazing and has a longer introduction than me. But yes, I have all that going on. And unfortunately, so much of it's been on hold during
Yes,
COVID.
yes.
So I am waiting for things to get started again. But the one thing that's constant in my life is dogs. I love them. My book is called Bullied at the Dog Park. I don't know if you could see it because I have the green screen on.
Yes.
But let me see.
It
Oh,
looks like a bestseller.
I I'm getting there, hopefully. But my book is based on my Boston Terrier Herbie. It's based on a true story of him getting bullied at the dog park.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I do miss reading it at schools. I know right now everything's limited. I can't wait to get back in to teach the kids. I put it up on the big screen. And now that I have an animated short, I'm deciding what to do with it because it was in the film festivals last year. Ooh, and I have I have to see if I'm going to release it on all the platforms or if I'm going to re-enter it into any others. So it's still kind of private, but yes, it was so exciting because it got into the New York Long Island Film Festival last September, and it was actually shown in a movie theater. So my dream was right in front of my face on a big screen watching it after years, putting years into it. All my money, all my effort, everything, going from one animation company to another. Just a very, but I learned so much about the process and how I should have went to school for animation. They make a lot of money, but it's super hard and it's very, very tedious work, but it's a lot. Very, I learned how advanced experience you have to be as an animator to make dogs lifelike and talk, not just wah 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 wah, but actually talk with expressions on their face, like Herbie being sad when he got bullied and looking at mommy. Why? Why? Because they're mean. People could
Yeah.
be so mean and cruel, and it has
Yes,
to stop.
it has to. What made you come up with the idea of telling the story through your Boston Terrier?
It
Because you
just
could have
seemed
done two separate stories, one about dogs getting bullied, one
right.
about children, but you put it
Right.
together. What brought that
Right.
about?
I just, it's like it just came over me, the whole idea at once, the whole thing. And I just started writing the book and I looked at some photos. I had an illustrator and he took the photos. The illustrations are from actual photos that I would send him. There's a picture of me and Herbie in the book that was an actual selfie I took of me looking down at him and he was looking sad sleeping and he hand drew it. He's an old school illustrator that hand drew everything and the illustrations are beautiful in the book. Um, I just sat and started to write and I realized it's about it was about humans too because I actually went through a nightmare with the people whose dog hurt my dog. So I was kind of bullied too. So it was going through this nightmare where I literally had to take them to court. And very sad because it was, I just couldn't believe that's the cruelty over. My dog was in ICU literally for a couple of nights and he was a puppy and I was petrified. He's the love of my life. And these people, I just asked them to help out with the bills because it was so expensive. And I'm not going to get into it because I don't, they're not worth my time on here, but
Exactly.
that's really what put it all together because I'm like, these dogs could teach kids about bullying through dogs, which they think they love the dog characters because I actually ran a dog group at the same time called the Long Island Smush Space Group. And that's in the book, Herbie and the Smushies. And the Smushies mean it's all the dogs with this pinched in nose, like the pugs, the bulldogs, the French bulldogs. So I ran a real group like that, and I said it has to be those characters, Herbie and the Smushies. So that's the theme of everything. And I basically just used some of the dogs. I had actual meetup groups with my real group, and I did everything. I had Halloween parties for them. So I had dogs in costumes. I had videos. So when I would go to the schools and read the book, I'd say, now who wants to see the real Herbie and the Smushies in their Halloween costumes? And they were like, yay! And I would play videos of the actual group. So it all just got together.
Wow. So how have sales been going for the book?
Well, my biggest buyer right now is Helene Witt.
Isn't she special?
Of
She's so
course,
supportive.
she's so supportive and she's just buying them up because she's what of course she's a retired New York City school teacher and she's trying to spread the word to everybody because it's tough. You know, you try to promote your book, but like they told me when I tried to get it published, if you're not a celebrity, which includes um, that reality show teen pregnancy or something.
Mhm.
Like I literally could have been 15 and pregnant and got my book published, but I couldn't just get my book published.
Oh my
They said you
gosh.
literally have to be an A-list celebrity. That's it. Or you're not getting published. Or a very well-known published book already is out there. So it's tough to get it out there, but I'm doing everything I can. And I just hope schools open again. There's places where I could do big group sales because that's really what they really just once they see the book, because it is, you can't really tell with my screen, but it is very old fashioned. I made the book. So I self-published it myself, but I made sure it was a glossy, beautiful, colorful color, and it's so hard, very hardcover that it'll stay in your shelves for years. And it's
Wow.
like it's just a traditional old children's book that I used to read, and they don't have them anymore. And I wanted to bring it back.
And that's a
So
beautiful thought.
it's nostalgic.
Yes. I wonder if there are any celebrities who are anti-bully people who have smooshies as pets that would get
Oh,
behind it.
I wrote them. I wrote them all. They didn't respond
Mm,
because unfortunately, it doesn't really go right to a celebrity. It goes to their whole group behind them, their
yes.
managers, their publicists. So it never really gets to them. I feel like if I actually met one in person that has Boston Terriers, pugs, French bulldogs, I looked them all up when I first wrote the book, and I sent them all a book, and they didn't. I didn't get one response,
Ah,
which is sad. It's just I think that's sad because it doesn't matter who you are, but these it probably never even got to them, so I'm not going to blame them.
no, totally.
It's
Absolutely.
funny because I live in Long Island and Billy Joel's here, and he has a motorcycle shop. And I went in there a few times. I actually designed doggy clothes. I had a doggy clothing line, and it said, I am a pug, and he had a pug. And he just had a new baby a couple of years ago, as we all know, with his new younger wife. And I went in there and I spoke to the woman who works there, and she said, he always comes in and out and switches out all his motorcycles. It's like a little museum of all his motorcycles. And people just go there dying to see if maybe they'll get a glance of him or a photo or something. And I left the book and the hooded sweatshirt for his pug with a nice letter. And she said, I promise you it will get to him. Nothing. Not a word.
Billy
It's,
Joel, come
yeah,
on.
Billy Joel. I'm a Long Islander. I live in the next town. What are you kidding me?
He took the letter and forgot about it.
Well, I don't, again, when I went back to see her, she said I had to leave it for his assistant. So you never know if they get it.
Exactly. You know,
So,
when I interviewed Sinbad, it was because I got on Facebook and I said, I want to interview Sinbad, but I can't seem to get a reply from him. And somebody stepped up and said, he's my private coach. I'll get him. That's how I got Sinbad. We'd talked years ago on Twitter or MySpace, and he remembered me. But if it wouldn't have been for this other person that knew I'm not a crazy fan,
right.
just that I wanted to interview, it sometimes takes another person that actually knows Billy Joel, maybe.
But you know who has my book? Because I did work on a movie set with Adam Sandler. He had two bulldogs, Matzo Ball and Meatball. He's half Italian, half Jewish. All this time I thought he was just Jewish because
Me
that's all
too.
he usually only talks about, but he's half and half. So he had matzo ball and meatball, two bulldogs, and one passed away at the time, before that. But I was on set with him many, many days. He filmed right here in my town, a movie called The Week of on Netflix. And his girls were there on set all the time, his young girls. This is 3 years ago now, so they're a little bit older, but I signed the book to him. He said he loved it. The girls loved it. They read it while we were on set. So,
Oh,
so
how
Adam
special.
Sandler, thank you for wanting my book and reading it. He
Thank you,
gets a thumbs up.
Adam. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Everything you're saying is giving me goosebumps. Like I knew there's so much about you in your eyes, that comes out. So much. Uh, I'm not a psychic or anything like that, but you're so special that,
I have a little bit of something.
yeah. And you have
Yeah.
so, I think you see through nonsense, and I think you've been through a lot, and yet you're still able to let love flow through you and love people, even with all you've been through. That's what I feel when I'm around you.
You got it right on the nail.
It's like I can read people pretty well by now, but that's what I
Yeah.
love about you is I can see that you've been through a lot, but you're not letting it hold you back one bit.
Yeah. I couldn't, you know. I've been on full drive my whole life. I
Boy,
really just I could have went two ways, you know. I could have went the wrong way, but I chose the right way.
yes.
So,
So you're so aesthetically beautiful and so tender and kind and caring. And I'm sure because of your beauty, people don't assume that. Have you been perceived as not being as beautiful on the inside as you are on the outside just because people like to hate beautiful women? Women like to hate beautiful women, to be specific. Have women given you a hard time because you're knocked down gorgeous, like beauty pageant gorgeous?
oh, well, I'm kind of all made up right now, but of course, I'm not always dolled up. But I do thank you. I really appreciate that, Linda.
It's true.
Um, it was definitely different when I was younger. I was a flight attendant. I didn't give you that one in my bio. I was a flight attendant, and back then it was more like that with the older flight attendants, with the newbies coming in, the 20-year-olds, and you know. But the last 9 years, I did own a dog walking pet sitting company, so I was in sweatpants and ponytail and you know no makeup really to go out and walk dogs. I didn't care, so I didn't
Yeah.
really have that later in life. And I did actually a muscle and fitness competition that you probably saw some stuff on Facebook of me,
Yes.
and I didn't get any. I not once did I get one hater writing anything about me being in a sports bar. It was all supporters, which I was shocked because
Wonderful.
it was supporters, and then there's the creepy psycho guys that
Yes.
don't know me, and a lot of them are from other countries and writing, "Can I be your sugar daddy and take care of you, sexy," and all that crap. But
Yeah.
I was getting more, I think because I surround myself with women like you and Helene now, and women that aren't jealous. Because I think I learned I had to, that I can't be around jealous women. I'm not jealous of women, you know.
No,
I
you're
think
not.
I want them all to succeed. And
Yes.
I love helping women. You know, when I was working out, I love getting, instead of being called beautiful, I love being called, you're a role model, you're a mentor. You got me to want to work out, you got me to want to eat better, or just, I want to write a book, how do I do it? You're such an inspiration. Those words mean more to me than anything.
Absolutely. The looks, you can have all the looks in the world, but what's behind the looks? And that's why I wanted to talk to you first about you might have all this beauty, but I see so much beyond that in you, so much acceptance and love that you have for people and patience. And I mean, we're in this Rob Shiaffi thing that I trip in and out of when I have time, and you've been fully committed to it. And he couldn't make it, so you stepped up to the plate, offering to keep it going when he's out. You
Yes.
know, that's
You
just
know,
one thing I know.
oh yeah. And it's the how do you, I'm tongue
Camaraderie.
camaraderie. We were together for 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, and it's like a drug. It was withdrawal, and I think everybody felt the same way because when Rob said he started going to once a week, it was like, what? You know, I've been with this group since the beginning of COVID, and you have such a bond after a while. And we all got to know each other on personal levels. And I said, I can't go a whole week. How could you go from 6 days a week to one? So I do it at least once a week, and everyone's so thankful for me to do it. And it's my pleasure. They don't have to thank me because it's something I need to be a part of as well.
And
But
that's what I
yeah,
saw in you is that you were just being a vessel. You weren't there to get the accolades. You were just there to do a job that needed to be done. That's really impressive, really impressive. And that you hang out with people my age, it tells me you have an old soul. You respect
Yes.
people who are older. You don't just hope will die like some people who are young, you're seeing what you can learn and what you can say to us that'll benefit us. So
Right.
I see a lot of beautiful qualities about you. You just need to know that. I just am really
Thank
impressed.
you.
So glad you're on here and I get to know you. Tell me about other facets in your life. So you've been producing, you're a writer, you're a comedian, you own a business. Um, what
So,
what would you like to talk about besides that? I don't want you leaving without talking about
no, of
everything you
course.
want.
So back to the screenplay I wrote. I can't give it away, but if any producers are watching, I am looking for somebody. Again, it's who you know.
Mhm.
I'm looking for somebody to get the script to, because it is a Hallmark, Lifetime, or any channel that has that feel good movie. It is a true story that I happen to be involved in.
Mhm.
It took place here on the island,
Mhm.
and it has a hero dog. You can't go wrong. And I don't
Oh,
want to give anything away, but it's a it'll be a great feel good family movie that uplifts everyone.
okay.
So
I'll tag. I know somebody that's a producer from my hometown, also in New York. I'll tag him to see this if he's not watching already. So,
so I've been trying to get that out, but unfortunately with COVID, things are so backed up. And I am with the new talent manager, the new talent.
congratulations.
Thank you so much. And he's dying, waiting for everything to open back up. He has the script, but he said everybody that he knew got laid off. A lot of agencies shut down. It's very sad. He knew someone at Lionsgate, they're gone, they got laid off. So many talent agencies just like shut down. Big studios shut down over this.
Wow.
So we're hoping it just gets in the right hands and it gets made. It's okay. Hi.
She says hi to you. This
Oh,
is
hi.
he's from Long Island too.
Hi, Gibson Hewitt
Where?
with me. Sirius Lawrence. We're down Far Rockaway. Hi, glad to meet you. Gotta go.
Oh, that's a lot of places.
Okay.
He's listing off everything on the railroad, all the
I know. I was
stops.
gonna say. I was like, how do you know all that? He's on the Woodmere line. Um,
That's Stephen Pearl.
okay.
So
Hi, Stephen.
he traveled with Robin and Sam Kinison back in the day.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah. Cool to have him as a roommate, right? I can bounce
Yeah.
ideas and try to
Yeah.
make him laugh.
That's really cool. So another Long Islander went to Vegas.
Yes. Yes. So, Long Islanders, and there's a really cool guy that lives here. Hmm. Can't think of his name. He's such a cool guy. He's a relatively young guy with a Jewish name, ends in Ner. Krasner from
Jeff?
Long Island.
No,
I
no,
don't
not
know his
he's not
first
young.
name, but
Sorry, Jeff.
he's such a good comic. Oh my gosh, I love hearing his comedy. Can't just think of his
Do they
first name.
have? Are they doing
Mike
anything?
Mike Krasner. He knows
Are they
all the
doing?
governors.
Oh, sorry. Are they doing any live comedy yet there?
Under the radar. And as of last night, bars and restaurants open, but not entertainment. But there are people that will announce after the fact or secret location places,
Yeah.
you know, that kind
We
of
have
thing.
speakeasies too, Linda.
Yes,
Speakeasy comedy, speakeasy get-togethers. It's crazy.
it's crazy. This is like you feel like you're doing something illegal and you kind of are,
I
and
know.
it's the
I
weirdest thing.
know. I'm trying to figure out, all the things I have behind me.
Hmm.
And I did just take a real 75-hour real estate online course that you have to take before I could take the actual state exam, which I'll be taking in a couple of weeks, and then I'll be a New York State licensed real estate salesperson. They don't call it realtor anymore, and that'll be new. I don't know if that's going to be
Congratulations on the first leg of that.
the first legs was the hardest. It's part of my joke set. Are you on the show tomorrow night?
Yes.
All right, so I'm not going to say it here then,
Cool.
but it was the worst 75 hours of my life.
Gosh.
But you have to do it just to get to even take the exam. So I'm taking it in a couple of weeks, and it'll be something else to learn in life. Whether it's something I do full time, part time, I don't know. We'll see where it takes me. If a big movie came out tomorrow and I got a role, I'd be gone. So I,
Absolutely.
I don't say anything. Now you hit it on the head. I've been an old soul since I was a kid and I knew it. And I had my friends at my own age group, but I was always much more mature than, like, everybody would say, you're so mature for your age. And was always surrounded by people another generation ahead of me too, besides having friends my own age. So it's very interesting that you picked up on that because I am a very old soul and I'm like, I'm tired. Enough already. How many times have I been here? And I get frustrated with new souls. I really do sometimes because people call me psychic all the time, but to me, it's just I've, I've seen it all. I've done it all. But how can I? How could I have? And I just feel like I'm super perceptive. But people are like, you have to be psychic. How would you know that? And I'm like, it's just obvious.
So there
But I
might
do.
be something there.
Oh, there's definitely something there. I just didn't. I got very nervous as a kid. I'd read a lot of books and then I didn't want to study it or really want to I was too scared to really get involved in any of it. But
Yes.
it comes out, and especially when you're the most vulnerable or not feeling well, I get,
Yes.
I, I had a huge premonition last year and it ruined my Christmas present because I told my husband, we're now divorced, um, that I pictured this whole scenario with him at work. And when he came home, I said it, and he's like, "You just ruined Christmas," because I knew that
Wow.
he was online trying to get me tickets after 5 years of a hiatus for Michael Bublé, my favorite.
Wow.
And he's like, "Are you kidding me right now?" I said, I just pictured this whole thing of you getting me tickets for Michael Bublé. And for 5 years, I said that's who I loved, but he wasn't playing anywhere because he took time off because he had a sick son. And he just came back out and was going to play in New York. And he really, like, you just ruined Christmas. He couldn't just keep it in as a surprise. But I pictured him ordering the tickets and everything. It was so strange that it'll be a premon so clear.
Wow. I get these funny, when I'm out shopping, I get a funny feeling that I'm going to run into somebody I know and then I'll run into somebody I know. It's the weirdest thing. And that's
And
the
what
only time it happens to me, really.
I still will know since I'm a kid who's calling before I look, things like
Really?
that. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have dead ones talking to me. Don't worry, everybody.
Yeah,
It's not like that. It's just, I get feelings about things. And I also get a really bad feeling in my stomach when something bad's gonna happen, like somebody gets sick or a death. I get a bad feeling. Called being an empath, too.
yes,
And you pick up a lot of feelings from people. I just could know if I'm in a bad situation or a good situation right away.
that's wonderful. Wonderful.
Which I
I
tell
get,
everyone, go with your gut feeling with everything in life. You have to go with if you had that gut feeling that something's wrong, there is. Run.
exactly, exactly. So you're hilarious as a comedian. And so what made you go from, I know acting is your first passion, but comedy's right behind it. You've written books, ran a business,
Yeah.
produced and gotten awards. You just won a contest I saw on Facebook the other night. You know, you're a go-getter and you work really hard. What made you go on stage and say, okay, and I want a little rejection too?
Yeah.
what what made you?
I'll be honest with you. I was at a workshop with a very big TV commercial casting director, and everyone got to do a little scene with him, and he would just give you feedback. And afterwards, people would just asking, well, where do you find I mean, how do we get in touch with you? Blah, blah, blah. Before COVID, everything was totally different. It was like, you can't touch me, you can't get in touch with me, you know? Mail me a postcard, don't write me, don't call. Now they're all doing free Zooms every day. It's
Yes.
amazing. And they don't make any money if there's nothing going on and they don't have you. So I always say you never know, because this happened in the flight attendant business. I learned at a very young age that one day someone's your boss, and if they're nasty to you, it's sure enough, one day they'll turn around and you'll be their boss. Because in the airline industry, you got furloughed and people would go to other airlines, and all of a sudden it's all seniority. I already went there a year ago. Oh, remember when you were mean to me and nasty because you thought you were superior? I'm the lead flight attendant now. You know, that's what happened. So I learned at a young age, you could be nasty to someone and then they can end up being your boss. So think about it.
Yes.
But the casting director kind of told me, you know, where I really find my actors? At a comedy club. That's the actors I want in my commercials. I really don't go by the self tapes and the auditions. I go into comedy clubs. And I said, are you kidding me? And I remembered Governors in Levittown, where I grew up actually, in Long Island, had on the tables comedy college. I'm thinking back 20 something years ago, and I'm on the train ride home from Manhattan, and I look up Governors, and sure enough, they still had it. And I called up, and they said, we have a class starting in 2 days. We still have a spot. And there I was. I joined the class.
Wow.
It wasn't something that I said, I always wanted to do this, or I said, I didn't think at all. That's what I do too sometimes, just impulsive. But that casting director, I thank him. Couldn't even tell you his name now, but I thank him because it made me such a better person. Because I can make fun of myself a lot more. I'm a very sensitive person, and now I could laugh
Wow.
because comedy's changed me.
Yes. Yes.
I need to
Like I went through brain trauma, and at first I was putting myself down on stage and nobody would laugh because I was still stuck in not accepting myself with a brain injury. And now I don't even need to talk about the brain injury. And if I make a mistake on stage, it makes me giggle, and I make other people giggle about it. And I just, whatever, and go past it. And comedy does heal us, and it heals others.
You know, there's no secret to anyone on my Facebook page watching that throughout this whole entire pandemic, I went through a divorce. And we had to live together the whole time. He's still here. And it was therapy for me doing the class and writing jokes about going through the divorce. It really is therapy. And I think that got me through it because I had to be quarantined with him. Not that anything was majorly bad between us, but it's still, everyone's like, you're stuck with him through trying to get a divorce. Yeah. So I made jokes. Rob will say, you could do your one woman show on getting divorced during quarantine. Who else got divorced during quarantine,
Exactly.
And it was nuts. I mean, we talked about the divorce right before, and I went out to I said, I gotta move. Long Island's just not for me anymore. I felt like there's nothing here. And I flew out to California, and I said it might be California or Atlanta, which is the new Hollywood of the South. All the studios moved down there. And that was my trip. 2 weeks later, guess what? When I got back from California, shelter in place. And our house was up for sale. We had a buyer. All shut down, stopped. All the courts were closed. We couldn't even get a divorce because it was going to be very amicable. No lawyers, just sign the divorce papers. But we couldn't do it because everything was closed, and we had to just live together the whole time. So I just did jokes on divorce over and over and over, and it was therapy. I was laughing about it. It really helped me.
Yes. Yes. Like with the shutdown, it made me so depressed. I get sad when I see suffering, human suffering. And I never saw so much human suffering everywhere you look. You can't go out your door, turn on the TV, can't get away from it. Everybody wants to tell you we're all in this together. I just wanted to And these Zoom things have been my lifeblood, and
That's
Zoom
great.
shows and interviewing people and drawing out the best out of you lifts my spirits.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm not gonna say I didn't have really bad days, and I'm still waiting to close on the house. We were supposed to close Friday. We haven't heard yet, so I doubt that's gonna happen. So I look at it like he'll be here another weekend, because he works during the day, so he's not around. And everything I do is self-employment. I pet sit dogs. I sold one big huge business, but I still pet sit my exclusive clients. My beautiful, it'll be my beautiful Havanese and my exclusive clients only. And then I'm gonna get my real estate license, and then I have been sending a bunch of self-tape auditions. Things are starting to look like they're opening up, but nothing's in full. TV shows aren't in full swing yet, because people will go to set and get tested for COVID, and then they have to shut the set down because someone's positive that didn't even know it. It happened on Grey's Anatomy. The woman who plays Meredith Grey, I forget her name. They went to start up, she was positive, and they shut down. They went home. So this is what's going on in the entertainment world.
What a crazy thing. In your life, what is it that you want to have people remember you by? Because you have many hats you've worn. If you had to pick
Yeah,
one, what would you want to be remembered by? One thing.
definitely not something I did for a living, just that I motivated people. I inspired people in anything I did. You could pick anything you want, but that people say she inspired me to do this in my life.
Wow. You inspire me. You do. You inspire me to be a better person. Just watching the way you handle yourself and handle others. It's so inspiring.
Oh, thank you, Linda.
When
I really appreciate that.
I mean
That's all
it,
I want to be remembered by.
you're there
That's
already.
and
You've
I'm not
accomplished.
it's so weird for me because I feel like I haven't when people like you
Mhm.
will say, "Well, send me a little bio." To me, it's like, okay, this is just the things I've accomplished. And yes, when the film is done and it was shown on a movie screen, I wanted to cry because it was my baby for a few years working on it.
Yes.
If my screenplay gets picked up and made, and my thing is, I know when I don't want it to just be sold. I want to play me in it, which is a different character name and a little bit different than me, but it is my character. And I just want it to be picked up, or an investor comes along so I can make it myself. Because otherwise, they just take the script. That's it. You're done. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I
Wow.
want somebody that will give me a chance to at least play my role in it. And I have Herbie, my Boston Terrier, in it with me because there's a lot of the real true story of me in this movie.
Wonderful. Well, I'll be sure to tag my friend Corey Brunish so he gets a chance because he literally checks out the world for scripts and gets
Really?
behind them and produces them.
Ooh, see,
So,
maybe this was meant to be, Linda. So
yes,
all I wanted the whole quarantine was for this to happen for me. This has been the thing that I want so bad, that this is all I've been thinking about, that I want is this movie to get made and that I get to be a part of it.
wonderful. So, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, and I'll put
Yeah.
those links up. And is there any place else on the internet you want people to, you've got your book that they need to check out on Amazon, so I'll be sure to mention that again.
Yes,
Any
you can find my book on Amazon, Bullied at the Dog Park, or go right on my website, Bullied at the Dog Park. I also have a website. Um, Instagram, Heather underscore Lehrman. And on Facebook, I have a page called Hanging Out with Heather. And I also have a YouTube channel, Hanging Out with Heather. So you could subscribe to my YouTube channel and you'll see all different crazy things on there. Auditions I've done. I've interviewed a lot of guests myself for my own show, Hanging Out with Heather. I actually, that stopped in March as well. I actually do it at a beautiful hotel here where I live that was a mansion, and they turned it into a hotel, and they give me a beautiful suite to interview people. But
Wow.
I can't sit in a room with somebody during COVID. So I haven't done it. I could have done Zoom interviews, but I have my whole theme. I have all my stuff. Because I used to do it in a studio. I had a whole set and everything. So you'll see that I have some interview shows from like 2016 when I started my show, Hanging Out with Heather.
I'll go look at that. I'll subscribe and
And
I'll
I
be
do,
sure to put that up.
and I have a couple of new people that I did at the hotel this year, and then that stopped. But once the hotel's fully open again, I want to start that back up again because I love feeling like you're on set. It's that whole feeling.
Yes, yes. I can't wait until the COVID is over and I just moved into this apartment with my roommate, and so I don't really have a spot for my backdrop and, a place that I yet feel is the perfect spot for this. So I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Someone's in
yeah.
the kitchen with Linda, and so so this is the best I can do right now. What
That's great.
else would you like to tell people? Like your personal, is there anything you're championing being for or against other than bullying? Or do you want to talk more about any
I
kind of,
just I just realized the other day myself, which I think is important to share, that you know you can't drive yourself crazy with all the news and everything going on. But just know that it could be next spring, next summer that life gets back to normal. So you can't every day being like, when is this going to be over? I can't take it anymore. When will life get back to normal? Because it most likely won't happen till next spring, summer, or even the end of next year, of that 2021. So just take
okay,
it as it is and just relax, because just think of it as it's probably going to be another year. And then you're not going to be so stressed and panicked and worried.
that's very good. Very good. When you have your rottenest day, like you're not on top of things and things are bothering you, what is it that pulls you out of that funk?
Going for a nice walk. You have to get up and exercise and just go for a walk. And it clears my head and it makes me feel good. Exercising is another big thing, part of my life. So you have to exercise and get those endorphins running. You just got to get up and walk. It'll make you feel better mentally and physically.
That's
There's
right.
days that I've laid there and binge watched YouTube shows one after the other, and I wanted to. In the beginning, there were many days that's what I did. I would find one show that I loved, and I'm like that. Like one after the other, it just goes into the next episode, and
Mhm.
I would sit there and watch all day. But then I'd get really busy writing, doing comedy, doing that. I think I just have to be really busy, but then I could just crash in Netflix and binge. So it doesn't matter. I feel like during these times, you got to do anything that makes you happy.
I
You got
like
to get
that.
yourself out of that slump,
You
because
have to.
you can't get depressed. I know I've had my days of being very depressed. Imagine going through a divorce, sitting through quarantine. You know,
And
I
being in the same house.
yeah, and trying to figure out how I'm going to do a Zoom comedy show when he's right there listening in the next room and talking about him. That was the hardest part. Now I don't care. Papers are signed. Papers are
Yeah.
signed, so I don't care. He's probably listening right now.
Oh
But
my gosh.
we're fighting now over pots and pans. It's ridiculous.
Man. In my day,
And
pots and pans were to hit the man with.
yeah, well, now it's this is mine, and that's not me saying it. This is mine. This pen is mine. I'm taking it. Go ahead. Enjoy yourself.
Man alive. Well, you're an inspiration, and I love your comedy, and I love you as a human being so much. And getting to know you is precious to me. And I hope that all of you on here on Facebook, Heather's page or my page, are getting to know her off stage behind the mask, because she's for real and she's
Not
an
for real.
amazing person. Like she's
I am genuine. That's one thing I can't not brag about because I love genuine, real people, and I know you are one, Linda. I
yes,
just know that's what I am attracted to is genuine people.
yes,
They have to, for you, like you said right away, I could see right through the BS. I
exactly.
see it, I think I feel it quicker than most people.
Yeah.
And I'm not that patient. I'm not gonna let you give me that credit because when you see right through bullshit, you can't be that patient, you
That's
know?
probably true. It's probably true. I know there's times I'm not patient with people when I see through their nonsense. And I used to let everybody treat me however they wanted. And in the last year, I don't. So now I'm being very impatient. And it's not like me because I used to let everybody do whatever they want to me. Now I
Yeah.
don't. So I get
But do you
that.
feel better? Do you feel better that you don't?
I know I tell people what I think in the moment. I just tell them, listen, no, that's not going to work. No, and then I don't have to go to sleep with a knot in my stomach.
See, and that's why I've been like this my whole life. So that's why I'm impatient. I'll admit it. But I'm patient when I have to be, I guess. But I just never let people get away with stuff. I just don't. I'll be the first one to stand up for you. I'm not afraid to confront people. There's a lot of people that are.
Yes,
Some people will say, my friends growing up would say, they would say about me, you're the strongest person I know. And people don't, and when you say about looking at me, I do not look the part. I don't look the part at all that of who I am. That I'm a
exactly.
no nonsense, an actual intelligent person, and it frustrates me when that's the one thing people frustrate me when they don't think I have a brain and they don't think I'm intelligent and I have nothing to say. And you're trying so hard to speak and you feel like you're not being heard. That's worse than just women being jealous.
Got it. I know people that are beautiful, but their eyes aren't as happy as yours or as settled with their past. Like I know a person who's very beautiful, and but she has a look in her eyes like, don't mess with me, kind of that, like
Yeah,
that eye is watching you, she's
yeah.
beautiful, but she's always looking for who's not. You don't do that.
No, I don't do it, and I don't go around. Oh, I'm beautiful. You
No,
know, I I never. I think anyone who has to compliment themselves has low self-esteem issues. You
exactly.
know, I don't. I don't ever say like I'm beautiful or any. I've never done that.
Yeah,
I I've got.
I've seen you do really a string of fabulous jokes, and people will say that was amazing, and you go, thank you. I mean, you don't make a big deal out of it. You're like,
Right. Right. My eyes have been noticed since I was born because people say that I could see there's piercing, like I could, as if I'm looking right through the person, or they could see inside of me. So
mhm.
that's just something I've been complimented my whole life about my eyes. That's just and again, I just say thank you, and guys will say, I'm sure every guy says that, but you have beautiful eyes, and or you're pretty. I've gotten that. It's more from guys actually. You're pretty. It's like, no, tell me. I don't know. I've never heard it from you.
It's like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Do you
Exactly.
behold me or not?
Exactly. I
Let me
mean,
know.
I'm still tiny. Some guys don't like that. I have my things where, first of all, everyone has their own taste. Some people don't like blonde. Some people don't like tiny. I'm petite. They want a tall, dark skinned, exotic looking woman. So who am I to say I'm beautiful? Nobody.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so true. Like I'm really good at scaring men off, evidently. I guess that's my superpower. They'll like see a picture of me and say hello and want to talk to me and get to know me, and then they're gone. It's like, and so I've kind of gotten into this, like, well, whatever, like, you're here today, but and I'll just say how I feel, and if I'm not trying to chase, there's been men I've tried to chase away. You have to sometimes, but like, I don't know where, like, I'm waiting for somebody to be just knocked down, head over heels about me. And that hasn't, and I'm 69 years old. So I don't know that it's ever going to happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen, Linda. It's definitely gonna happen.
That'll
And
be fun.
you have that smile, like you say about my eyes, it's your smile. I know that you have a lot of pain too. I could see it,
A lot.
but I know. I could see it, but you also have your smiling eyes, not just your beautiful smile, but you want to make people happy.
I don't want anybody to go through what I went through.
And I know you're a survivor.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so glad I got to know you. I'm glad my people are going to get a chance to get to know you. I'm going to plug this a couple more times tonight because people need to know you.
They definitely saw a whole new side of me.
Really?
The real me. Yeah, because I'm not afraid to be honest about my real life. You
That's so
know,
great.
I'm an open book. I just I'm fine with people knowing the real me. I mean, yes, I have my book, and I like to. Would love to be. I'd love to be a movie star, but not for the fame and not. I don't want any of that in this point in my life. Like not being able to go anywhere. I don't want to be insta famous or anything, but I just want to be in a big movie, and I hope it's my own.
There
That's
you
it.
go. And you've given me chills most of this interview. I don't know, because you're touching on real things. So thank you so much. I mean it from the
Thank
bottom
you.
of my heart. Out
I
of
will see
five,
you tomorrow night. We'll both be on. Everyone has to watch our comedy show tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Vegas time. And
that's
we're going to
right.
have a 3 minute with
We're
20
gonna
of us.
we're gonna make 3 minutes go by really fast.
Yes. So I hope everyone watches tomorrow. But it was great
Yes.
talking to you, Linda. You're
It
such a
was,
sweetheart.
thank you so very much. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I wish I lived in New York and then I could be palsy wowsies, better pals than I am now. But thanks to Zoom, we're doing it.
And I might come to Vegas, so you never know.
Well,
I've
you
been
got
there
a
plenty.
friend here if you do.
Okay,
I
great.
don't say it lightly. I'll help
Good.
you any way I can.
Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Linda.
Thank you. Bye, Heather Lehrman.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thanks for
everyone.
watching, everyone.